Hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm just going to hang tight for a second here just to see if, I see numbers. Okay, good. Don't be shy. Say hello. Welcome, welcome. Today we are going to jump in and I'm going to show you how to make postage stamp embellishments for your cards, your layouts, your journals, planners, whatever it is that you do. You know that postage is all the rage right now. And this is my new favorite thing to do. But I was supposed to show it when I was doing my June calendar bundle release, and I forgot. So I got thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? It's probably better that I forgot because this is something that goes beyond just that calendar bundle, and I think to sort of separate it out and give it its own video is a good thing. So I'm going to go back after this video, and I'm going to, in the video description for the calendar, I'm going to put this video link in there so that people can refer to it if they're doing the calendar. But I think it works for so many different things that it's kind of cool that I have it separated out. So hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so Mary says good sunny afternoon, which is hilarious because today was supposed to be the rainy day this week. And so far we haven't seen any rain. But I did receive a notification on my phone telling me that thunderstorms are possible in the next couple of hours. So we'll have to see what happens. You just never know, right? Okay, so we're going to get started. So I want to let you know that this whole thing was inspired by a piece of paper, which is kind of funny. So this is the piece of paper. It's been cut up a bit, but that's what I have left. This is the piece of paper that inspired my postage stamp embellishment idea. So my original thought with the layout that I was using was that I was going to cut these up and use them as actual postage stamps as embellishments on my layout. So that's kind of where my head was at. But when I cut them into strips, I just didn't love how it looked. I didn't like the little black thing, and I wasn't going to get in there and fussy cut all the little notches out. So I was kind of like, well, I don't know if I love that idea. And then I was trying to find something that I could cut just this center part out and mount it onto to make it look like a postage stamp, and that didn't work. So I pulled out my postage collage die, which looks like this. Now, mine is missing one die. These little dies that you get in the center here, I'm missing the rectangle one. But this one jumped out at me because I was like, that is a postage stamp right there. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to use that, but these pieces are too big. So I was like, well, how am I going to make that work? So I started playing around, and what I did was I took these pieces and I figured out how small I had to make them to fit them in here. And it's 3/4 of an inch. So I thought, well, I'll take a strip, I'll start cutting things up and see what it looks like. And I was a little disappointed because you'll notice that when you cut them, sometimes you have to cut off like parts of the design that was in the paper. And I didn't think it was going to look okay. But to my surprise, it really doesn't matter. So then my brain started going crazy and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many scraps of paper. You could do this for anything. You could do this for fall. You could do this for winter. You could do this for Christmas. You could do this for any generic page. You can do it for travel. You can do it for birthdays. You can like anything you want. And I thought, what a great way to incorporate postage in more things. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to see what it turns out like. So here I'll pull the layout onto the screen here and I'll show you how I incorporated the postage into my page. So down here in this corner, you will see a couple of postage stamps. So the one says 50 cents, one says 75 cents. This page is a road trip page. So, you know, this one has a bit of a travel theme to it, and that's okay. So there's a couple of them there, and there's a couple more there. And then I've got one over here and one up here, and then a couple more up here. And it's just a great way to make your own ephemera for your pages. And I mean, the postage theme, like I've said, is such a hot thing right now. I just think it goes with everything. You can't go wrong. So I'm thinking ahead to Christmas, you know, layouts and cards, how fun it is to have postage on everything. You can even, when you're like even hand delivering cards, you can make little postage stamp accessories to put on your envelopes just to jazz them up, or as an envelope seal on the back. There's just so many great ways that you can incorporate this into things. And how to make them is so darn simple. So I'll lay it aside. Basically what I did was I took the die and I cut out a bunch of bases. Now I chose to use white paper, but you can use colored paper if you want to as well. And I'm also using the 110-pound Nina white cardstock. So I'm going to hold this up a little closer. And the reason I like to do that is because it adds a lot more detail. Like the thicker your paper is, the nicer the details in the stitching and the edges show up. So you can definitely use a lighter weight paper and there's nothing wrong with that, but I chose to use a heavier cardstock just so that those details would really stand out. So that's the base of all of my embellishments. And then, like I said, I took a strip like this and I just took these little squares and I started cutting them down to 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. So this one here is this 75-cent one here. So I wanted to have the 75 cents on there. So I made sure that I started with this edge and then measured 3/4 of an inch over, and then you can shorten it up however you want to get your square. And again, I tried to center these little images as much as possible. If they're off a little, that's totally okay. If you look closely at some of the ones on my page here, like this adventure one, the whole word doesn't end up being on there, but I know that it says adventure, so that's fine. And there's another one that was kind of off center. Oh, this one here is got the luggage on it. And I had to cut part of the luggage off too, but it ends up working really nicely. Now, you can use any papers that you want to create these. So I actually pulled out a few scraps from my scrap bin just to show you that it works with other themes. And so this is just some fall themed paper. So I just cut a few 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch squares out of that. There's nothing postage about this. It never started out as postage, but we're going to turn it into postage. So that's that. And then I went to my scrap bin and I found some Christmas paper, really old stuff. And I love the Santa face. So I'll just show you that paper. So this was the scrap that I had. And I love the little Santa heads. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to make the Santa head as one of them. And then the other part of this strip has a dot on the bottom, and then the reverse of it has this scallop. So those are the three pieces I ended up using when I did that one. So that's going to be our postage there. So if some of these ones from this strip here, like they actually have postage marks on them, so you think postage right away. But these other papers, the fall ones and the Christmas ones, they don't have any postage marks on them. And that's where this fun little stamp comes in. So along with the Waffle Flower postage collage releases, they come out with these little stamp sets that are sort of themed to the release. Now, this is the original one. So it's just called Postage Collage. That's it. We are currently sold out of this, but we do have a pre-order going on. It's actually in the calendar section. I will, when this video is over, I'll put it under the pre-order category on our website as well, so you can find it easily. But this gives you like postage marks, little things that you can stamp onto your papers to really make them look like postage stamps. So I'm going to show you how this one works today. But since I've pulled out fall paper, I actually went and dug out a bunch of the ones that I have in my stash. And you can see that they could become very useful depending on what theme you're working with to make your little postage stamps. So this one here is called Beach Days. So instead of having this type of a postage mark, it's got waves instead, which is kind of cool. You could put like this postage mark here has a little anchor on it. So that is a fun way to sort of personalize things for summer. And then of course there's little sentiments and things that you can use too. There's birthday themed ones. So this postage mark has the circle here, but then the wave says happy birthday. So you could put something like that onto a postage stamp. Even like if you're doing a Halloween page, to have little spider webs coming off of them would be really fun. Even a little spider hanging down on the postage or on the pattern paper would be really cool. There's Christmas ones. There's love themed ones. I have a fall one. Now, the nice thing about the fall set is that it has small little postage marks, which is cool. It has the word express. It says fall mail, which is kind of cool. Warm wishes. So I liked some of the things that were on this one. So I'll pull that one out for fall. And here's another really cute one that they came out with that has great stuff for Halloween. So if you want to do Halloween themed postage stamps, you can do that too. So there's lots and lots of options. I'm going to pull out that this North Pole one. So I have sort of a Christmas one. I have my regular postage collage one, and then I have the fall one out, and that's kind of goes with the themes. So I'm going to show you first off how I used this just to personalize the ones that I used on my layout. So like I said, I've already cut these out to 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch because you don't need to watch me do that. And then before I stick them on here, I'm going to add more postage marks with this stamp set. Okay. So I pulled out a small acrylic block and my favorite black ink. And I'm just going to simply take the paper and I'm going to use some of these small stamps and I'm going to mark them up to be postage like. So this one already has like a dollar value on it. So I can go a couple of different ways here. I'm going to add the first class mail. Now, that whole stamp is not going to fit on there, but that is okay. To have the postmarks kind of going off the stamp set is kind of fun too. You don't even have to ink up your whole stamp. You can kind of just plunk it on there. So there, now you can see that it has that mark on there that says first class. I remembered to wet my chamois so I can clean this off. Because usually I start my lives and go, oh crap, I need to wet my chamois. Okay, so that is one way. Now these ones don't have any like dollar values on them. So I'm going to add a value to them. So I'm running solo again. Let me just read comments here. Great idea. Hello, this is too cute. Brilliant idea. Love the postage. Ooh, I'm going to need more of those posters. Yes, Tanya, you are. I started out with just one or two as well. And then I don't know, something happened and they ended up in my house. Okay, so now we're just going to put the little 50-cent value here. So see, I just stamped right over the design that was there. I don't even care. And I am also going to add, I'm going to grab it from the fall one. I like this small little squiggly line thing. I can use this one, but this one is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to grab it. And I think it'll be good for the scale that we are working with. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go off that side of the page. So I'm just going to put some ink there. And again, it doesn't have to cover up the whole thing. Whoops. But see how you're turning it into a postage piece. And it's just simply by adding a couple of stamps. That's what really makes it look postage like. And then we've got this little globe here. So I definitely want to add a value to that. And this fall set has different values as well, which I like. I'm going to go with 25 cents on this one. And on this set here, this one says airmail. And since it is sort of a travel themed thing, I'm going to use that. So first we're going to do our 25 cents. I'm going to pull this down a little bit just because I can't see exactly where I'm stamping. So there's the 25 cents. And then I'm going to put this airplane thing on here, and it's going to be kind of cool. So let's get that going. And I'm going to have it flying onto the stamp. So it's going to kind of come off the corner here. Hoo-hoo, that looks cool. I just got to clean up my desk here and I'll show you. Oops, well, now we've got ink on it. So because I'm stamping off the edge, it's going on the glass mat. I'm just trying to pick up that ink. So let me just pick this up here and see how fun that is. So you can kind of see the airplane coming onto the little corner there. And I even captured the word airmail, which is kind of fun. But I just love the way those look. So now we've got the 3 sets stamped. Now the next part is super easy. We've already got the base done. And you're just going to take, oh, I didn't even get my glue press ready. Well, I've been trying to be a good girl and put the cap on. It doesn't always happen, but I did remember last time. I'm just going to stick a pin in there because I have not crafted in a while. And I have a feeling no glue is going to come out. So let's see. Oh, perfect. Good. See, it's great when you put the lid on because then it's not all dried up. But there, just by adding a little bit of glue and placing it on that postage stamp background, it really looks like an actual stamp. And I just think it's so cool. So I'm just going to throw a magnet on there till that sets up and we'll glue the other ones. This is my favorite one. Okay, so we're just going to put some glue on there. And like I said, these ones already had the postage kind of theme to them, but I'm going to show you, you can use any papers you want to make this fun. That one turned out really good. Put a little magnet on there and then one more. And then I'll just throw these in a little bin of embellishments that I have and they will be ready to go. So this is one of those things that you can do when you feel crafty but not creative and make up a whole bunch and they'll be ready to go. And you'll thank yourself when you're ready to use them, that you don't have to sit and do it, but it is really fun to do. Okay, so this one's a little crooked, but that's okay. But see how perfect that is? And because it is crooked, I'll just tuck it behind something and then no one will ever know. And then we've got this one here, which is straight. But see how cute they are as postage stamps? Like they just look so good. And then my favorite one is this one. So what do you guys think? I just love it. Okay, so that's the travel themed ones. Now let's do some of these Christmas ones. Just to show you how easy it is to mix and match your papers and grab your scraps and end up with some pretty cute stuff. Okay, this is the airmail one. Where does that go? Oh, great. I've misplaced where this goes. Huh. Oh, right here. Okay. Because if I don't put them back, I'm going to be missing the piece, which does happen. Okay, so now we've got this cute little, this one is called North Pole. And again, even if you don't make these little postage stamps, these little stamp sets are so fun to play with. So you can put, this one doesn't have any like values on it. So I'm going to have to steal some from the other stamps. I haven't even used this one yet. Like there's been no ink on this. We're going to ink it up for the first time. So I'm going to pull in, I like that 25-cent one. It looks nice and bold when you stamp it out. So let's use 25 cents. I'm going to use the 25 cents for all of them. So let's just stamp 25 cents on all of these. Sorry, I'm pulling it off screen just so I can make sure I get it in the right spot. Okay, so yeah, so I love how nice and bold that looks. My grandkids would think it's so cool if the envelope had a little Santa stamp that said 25 cents on it. It kind of makes your Santa letters from the North Pole look much more authentic, which is kind of fun. So you can use these for lots of different things. And then I love the idea of this postmark here. This one has the Merry Christmas with the snowflake, and it kind of looks like that seal. So I'm going to put this one on. Oh, this one does look like it's been used. I lied. This one has been inked. I likely didn't use it. Probably Amanda did when she was making samples. because I don't ever recall using these, but they're very cute. Okay, so I'm just going to put this, I'm going to do this one, just kind of off to the side. I love that. And then I'm going to use this delivery one as well. And that one I'm just going to use this side here. And that's just going to kind of go down here. That looks great. And then for the Santa face, I'm going to use the traditional squiggly lines just because I feel like that will work well for that. And that's just going to go right along the bottom there, just to make it look all postage-like. And then I will just quickly write this up. And then we are going to stick those onto the base and make them really look like postage stamps. So this is my first time making them without the ones that I made on the layout. Like, I just got thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? You can make these for any theme at all. So that Beach Days one is perfect for anything summery. And I mean, these can be for birthdays. They can be for anything. I'm trying to get them straight. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. I love the Santa one. And I mean, this scrap of paper is great. Like, I have all these Santas that I can turn into postage stamps. And that, I don't even know how old that is. I want to say it's Bella Boulevard paper, but I could be wrong. It's definitely been in my stash for a very long time. So as soon as you put it onto the base, it just comes to life. I just think it looks so good. And I'll show you them completed in just a second. One more. Are we chatting? Looks good. Love it. I'm making postage stamps. So were you already making them, or are you inspired to make them now? I want to make postage stamps tonight too. But just from this video, I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of them. Now, once we're done this little demo here, I have some inspiration to show you. So I like to separate out the inspiration and new products separate from any kind of video that I do where I'm showing you how to do something, just because I think it looks nicer on our YouTube channel. But I will do this demo and then I'll kind of stop and say, okay, we're going to move on to something else now. So if you are tuning in after the fact on replay, when the little demo's done, you don't have to watch the new product stuff or the inspiration if you don't want to, but you'll probably want to stick around for a little bit because it's pretty cool. So there is the first one. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. And then this one turned out so good as well. And again, that's just pattern paper, like nothing crazy. The little stamps make it look like postage. And then this one with the Santa face is just adorable. I love that. So you guys are going to be rummaging through all your scraps and looking for fun things. And then I'm just going to make just a couple more here just to show you that you can just take scraps of pattern paper and just turn them into whatever. So what do we got here for fall? Of course, I said put your stamps back and I haven't put them back. So this one, oh, that has fall mail. I like that. So that's a good one. And then the circle one can say warm wishes, which is nice. I like the express tab as well. And even the word little pumpkin would be cute on one of them as well. So let's do that. I'm going to use express because I think that's fun. That's very generic. And then I'm going to use the 25-cent value again, just because I have it out. And it is a nice bold one, so it does show up nicely. But I just want to see what these fall ones are going to look like. Okay, so there is one. And this paper here is really fun. I'll hold it up. It's got a little bit of text in the background. And if you watched my calendar video, we kind of made paper like that ourselves. But see that text that's in the background there? It's a really cool option. And not all of your postage stamps have to have a value on them. You don't have to put the value on if you don't want to, but I think it makes it look very postage-like. I know we don't mail anything for 25 cents anymore, but it's kind of fun. Okay, so I think now I've got words on all of these, and this already has words, so I'm going to change something out for that. But I'm going to put this fall mail stamp just at the bottom here. Yeah, I'm not going to see the fall part. Well, maybe if I... Oh, that's a cool one. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then you know what? I might come in with a circle option on the top. So let's see. This one has the warm wishes one. I'm going to use that. But I'm just going to use a little corner of it, and I'm going to come in on the top. Oops. So we're really making this one a little bit busier, but I think it looks so good. Woohoo. Okay, and then I better clean that splooge up, otherwise it's going to be on everything. And then we've got this one here, which again, I think I like this. Circle option. Yes, that looks good. Okay, and then one more. This one here, I'm going to put a little pumpkin on it because I just think that's really cute. And you're not going to read the whole thing, but you'll get the idea. Your brain will fill in the rest for you. Okay, so let's see what these are going to look like when we put them on our base. And of course, I love fall colors, so right away, it sort of changes the look of the stamps. I'm sorry if I'm ignoring your comments. I will look in a moment. This is requiring all my concentration. Okay, because I don't want to miss any questions, but I will definitely answer. This is very fun. And I just love how they turned out. And I'm just winging it. I'm just kind of, slapping the stamps on top, right over top of the text. It doesn't matter. They all seem to turn out equally as nice. And you don't necessarily even have to have themed paper for your seasons, as long as the colors are kind of, like red and green work really well for Christmas, but you can also bring in that nice teal and pink look, or gold and silver, or whatever it is your theme is, and they will all work. And then, just grab papers that have sort of like fall colors if you want to do fall ones. But here's the little pumpkin one. Isn't that cute? I just love that. Let's get these out of here, and we'll look at all of our stamps afterwards. And then this is the one that had the words that said give thanks, but I stamped right over top of it. And woo. And this one here, it has the fall mail and the warm wishes stamp. So there's our sort of fall themed ones. There's our road trip ones. And then we've got our Christmas ones across the top here. So let's hold those all up. And you can see how cool they look and how we just made them all ourselves. So they're DIY postage stamps. And then you can use those as ephemera on things like layouts. So point it out again. There's one here. There's a couple here. There's a couple down here. And then I have a couple more up here. Oh, and there's even one here. So they just kind of tuck in, maybe with ephemera and stickers that you already have, and you really just can do a lot of things with it. I just think it's so fun. So I wanted to share that technique with you. Like I said, anybody who was watching the calendar video the other day, I totally overlooked doing the demo. So I will, in the description of that video, I will link this video so that you can see the demo here. So what do you guys think? Let's go back and see what you guys say. How do I like the tidy towel? I like the tidy towel. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I love this idea. Another way to use the stamp sets and paper we have. Yes, it is. And I mean, like, again, I took like literally 30 seconds, opened up my scrap bin, and I found this Christmas paper and thought, okay, I'm going to wing it. I'll just see what that turns out like. And look how great they are. My favorite is I don't have a favorite. I like them all. I love the Santa face. That was really cute. So, so 6x6 paper pads, if you've got lots of those, or even if you're finding that you don't have the right kinds of paper in your stash, you can go shopping. But now you're going to look for papers to make these little postage stamps. So definitely crash your stash, see what you got. And it is a great way to decorate an envelope. So like, just to show you what I mean, let me grab an envelope and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say like envelope seal. Actually, my envelopes are not the kind that have the pointy part on them, but just to show you, let's say I was sending a Christmas card. First of all, oh, look at this one's already, now there's my address. You guys want to send me something, you can send it there. But look how cute this is. Like you could put a little postage stamp up in the top. Like that is super fun. Or if you flip this over, like to seal your envelope, if you want to put a little something there, you can just glue it shut and then put the little postage stamp there. That's a fun way to do it too. So lots of really cool options as far as your envelopes go. Mary was saying, how do I like the tidy towel? So normally I use the stamp chamois from Lawn Fawn, but mine was my original chamois, and I had to throw it out. It was really old and yucky. So I received this as part of a retailer kit that I was doing classes with. And when the original tidy towel came out, I did not like it at all. We stopped carrying it. It would fall apart. But this is like the new improved one. And I will say, as long as it is wet, like not dripping wet, but moist, very moist, I don't have a problem with it. But if you rub too hard, I'm going to hold this up just so you can see. Do you see how it's tearing there? You want to make sure that you don't rub too hard with your stamps, and you want to make sure that this is not on the dry side. You want to make sure it's very moist, and then I don't seem to have a problem with it. One of the things I do like about it over the chamois is the chamois is teal. So it's very pretty when you get it, but the minute you start, cleaning your stamps, it gets pretty yucky. This one is already dark gray, so a lot of the messiness doesn't show up on it, which is kind of a good perk. So I hope that answers questions. Kim says the base on the stamps makes them pop and look awesome. 100%. Y'all like them. And none of them look too busy with all the stamps. No, I'm surprised too, Marianne. Like really, they just look very, very cool. I'm very impressed with them. I want to put them on everything. Everything. Okay, so I think I answered all the questions. Maybe not. Great idea for the back of the envelope. Good afternoon. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to put this stuff aside, and I do have some inspiration from both Christina and Amanda. So if you don't want to watch that part, if you came just because you wanted to see the postage stuff, then you can take off. But there's some pretty cool stuff. One of the things is going to be waffle flower related. I'm just moving all my stamps off to the side here, so I'll put them back after. There's a lot of waffle flower samples. And the other one is a really cool window die from Concord and Ninth. So, okay, look at that. As far as you're concerned, I have a very clean desk right now, which is hilarious because I've got stuff everywhere. All around me, but you can't see it. It's magic. Okay, the first thing I'm going to share for inspiration is this pile here. So this is the Concord and Ninth Window Wishes die and stamp set. So this is the window die. It actually goes this way. So there's your window. And then you have a separate die that you can make the window pane. There's all sorts of accessory dies in here that you can make flower boxes and different things like that. There is a die to make bricks for a brick wall. There's a window box die as well. A really cool one for sentiments. So really jam-packed set full of dies. And then there is a matching stamp set. All of these greetings, the long ones that are kind of curved, they fit in this little banner die that goes here. And then there's other various ones. There's also some stamps in here that you can stamp your bricks. So I actually had to call Christina and said, how did you make those bricks on the one card? And she goes, it's the stamp. And I was looking for a stencil. So I love that you can stamp them on. That's a really cool idea. So that is supported with this. And then the other die, we've shown this before. I showed it using some rainbow cards. These are simple pop-up dies. And all they are dies that cut strips of paper with score lines in them. And then you fold them and they make a really cool pop-up option. Now you might be saying to yourself, oh, I could just make those myself. And you 100% can. But I love the convenience of being able to take a die out, die cutting it. I don't have to measure anything. I don't have to think about it. I just make it. So for those of you who are like me and you just want to do it, then these dies are definitely for you. So I think these are sold out, but we've got more ordered. Providing that they are in stock when Concord and Night ships, then we will have them again. And if not, we will keep them on our watch list and definitely be restocking them. But they are a handy little die. Now, let's look at the sample. So since we're talking about the pop-up, I'll show you what that means. So see in behind here, it's got this little pop-up feature. So for mailing, everything lays flat. So it's completely flat. But then it pops up and creates a dimensional look on the front of your card. And this is the window that is created with this amazing die set. So Christina has used an embossing folder that has the look of a brick wall. And then she's chosen to use a floral design on this one. And you can use whatever sentiments you have in your stash, or you can use the ones that are part of the bundle, and you can create cards that work for like new homes or welcome to the neighborhood or moving or anything kind of house related. Or you can just make them things like thank you cards and birthday cards and all that kind of thing. I also think something that would be really cool with these is to create a scene in behind the window. So in other words, maybe you have a Christmas set that you can create a panel that you can put in behind the window. So like we would be looking into the room, which is a really cool technique to do too. So tons and tons of options. And you can theme your windows for seasons too. So it's not a seasonal die. You can use it all year round, which is really great. And somehow you could probably fit a postage stamp on there too, I'm sure. Love that brick wall. Is it still available? So this is the Honeybee rustic brick wall embossing folder. So we just received a Honeybee order. Let me just quickly have a look. I can let you know. Rustic brick wall. I did try to restock. As a matter of fact, it is in stock. And we have quite a few. And it is a beautiful set for sure. So let me lay this flat and I'll hold that up just so you can see. It is a 3D folder. So it does give you lots of detail. And the reverse side of this looks really cool as well. So that is the brick wall embossing folder. And it's called the rustic brick wall. So if you type that into the search bar, you'll get that. So isn't that awesome? So that's card number 1. And there is card number 2. I love the black. It just looks so cool. And Christina actually created a shaker with the window. So to just add some movement. But I just love that black window. It looks so good. And then you can see that nice banner with the sentiment in it. And again, she's put florals and greenery into the window box. But you may have dies in your stash already that you can really switch up what you want to put in the window box. And this one also uses the die to make the bricks. So you can create your brick wall that way. And you can be as sparse with them or as detailed with them as you want to be. And then the final one is this one here. So again, this is the same window, but look how different it looks. It looks a lot smaller, because the shutters on the side are not part of this one. And she's put it kind of off to the side. And there's that great sentiment. And then there you can see the stamped bricks on the background as well. So you can get some really cool looks, all kind of different, but yet the same. And really play around with that window. And again, we always say cards, 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 but this window is an independent item. So you can certainly make a window and put it on a layout. So it would be like a focal point or a feature, and creating a really cool scene inside the window would be a great option as well. Okay, Christina says she definitely thought about doing the Christmas tree. I probably should have. That's okay. Maybe we will have to do some Christmas cards with it. But tons and tons of options. I know I have a lot of flower dies in my stash, which is really funny because when I first started card making, I'm not really a floral kind of person. I'm more of a trees and mountain kind of person, but I have so many floral things. I love making floral cards. So you could definitely fill your basket with lots of florals and have a lot of fun with it that way too. So lots and lots of ideas and things that you can do with a die like this. It's a really good like staple, and then you can kind of customize it however you want. So that is, again, it's called Window Wishes, and it is from Concord and Ninth, and those are in stock as well. Okay, and then on to the next pile. So I'm actually going to start with all the cards, and then I'm going to pull the product on because each card has so much stuff on it that it's going to be hard to just show the product and then refer back to it. So I'll do my best. I have it kind of laid out next to me so I can find it easily. So we have shown the new products when they first came in, but we did not have inspiration ready. So now we have inspiration. So this is all from Waffle Flower, and it is from their coastal release. So there was everything from postage collage, stencils, dies, stamps, greetings, images, all kinds of different things. It was a very large release and extremely, extremely popular. Oh, this is a great idea too. So let's pop this comment up. So a photo in the window on a layout would be really cool as well. Definitely. And that window pane, I'm just going to bring it back on here. The window, this insert here is a separate die. So you don't have to have the window pane, like the lines on your window. Your window can just be open and clear. So you don't have to have those lines on it. So you can take that part out, and that would mean that the photo would show up very nicely in the window. So lots of cool ideas. Okay, so this card features a couple of very popular things. The first one, and I've done a video on this already, is, what is this called? I can't read it. It is called the Coastline Die and Stencil. So this is en route to us now. It was out of stock for a bit, so we had to wait, but it's coming. A number of people have already been asked to be on the notify list, so they are going to receive an email as soon as we receive it to let them know it's available to order. But if you're not on the list and you want to be on the list, make sure you email the store. But this is a die and matching stencil. So the stencil's in the back there. And it creates this beautiful wave and rock. And it is so fun and easy to do. And it's so dramatic on the cards. So that is that. And then the other thing that is featured is the lighthouse die. So we did this as a promotion, a giveaway with purchase. And I believe we are sold out right now. If we're not, we only have one left. So more will be coming, and that creates this beautiful lighthouse that you see in the background there. And the greeting, there are a couple of greeting sets that are available in this release. The first one is called Hello Sunshine. So this is just a smaller set with a matching set of dies. And then the larger one is called Coastal Greetings. And those are a little bit more specific to waves and sea and all that kind of stuff. So, but the one thing I want to point out is if you take a close look, the die actually has that pierced feature on it. So it doesn't just cut out the sentiment. It actually puts the piercing in there as well, which is really neat. So that is what is featured on this card here. I'm trying to keep everything in order so that I don't miss out. So that's card number one. Now this card here features a number of different products. The flowers that you see are from the floral anchor die. And this gives you that big, beautiful anchor. And then you get all of the supporting flowers to use with the anchor or without. And I'll show you a card with that in a few minutes. The other thing that is a a really cool thing on this is, and I'm trying to locate it on my cart. Where is it? What did I do with it? Hold please. It's in this pile. The nesting piercing ticket frames die. And that is the frame that you see that makes that ticket. There's also a stencil in the background there. That is the two-step mixed stripes stencil. This sold out pretty quickly. We do have more coming. So I hope you got your notebooks because you're going to want to write some of these things down. This is a really cool stencil. You can do step 1 and step 2, so you can see the different looks. And then if you do 1 and 2 combined, you get that look. So again, so this is stencil 1, step 1, step 2, and then this is stencil 1 and 2 combined. And then here you can see the different ways that you can get those really fun striped backgrounds. And this look really reminds me of like a beach towel, which is a fun way to do it. So it might look like a boring stripe stencil in the package, but it actually does really cool things. So here Amanda used that to make that striped background there. And then the postage stamp that you see, that is from the Postage Collage stencil, and it is called Postage Collage Coastal. And that does all these scenes here. I have another card that does the whole postage collage. That's this. And then Amanda just took one of those and made it the center point of the card, which I think is super cool. So if someone was on a cruise and they wanted to send you a little note while they were cruising, they're waving hello from the cruise ship. It's just a really cool way to use just one of the postage collage sections to create a card. And there you can see that really cool sentiment again with that piercing detail on it. It just looks so good. So that is a great card as well. Let me put my things back so I can locate them when I have to show you. So I did feature this. So that's the postage collage die, which we used to make our postage stamps. We used the big die instead of the small little dies that came with it. And in this particular card, it's been left as a complete panel and then a sentiment just added on the top. But you do have the option to cut all of these little sections apart. And then you have a bunch of little scenes that you've created that you can then use independently or collage them together or use them as ephemera on a layout or anything like that. So if you've taken a trip out east, let's say Newfoundland or the East Coast, this would be a great set to embellish pages with for sure. And even the other items that I've shown so far too, like the lighthouse and that coastal die that does the scene here. You know, you could put that at the base of a photo or something like that. There's just so many options for these dies beyond card making. Okay, and then here, this is that awesome striped background stencil again. Whoops. It is the two-step mixed stripes. So you can see how different this background is from this one. But it's the same set. Change up your colors, change up how many stencils you use and how you use them, and you get different looks. So I really love that. And then this large hello is right here. These ones are really fun. So this is a die with a stencil. So the stencil, when you stencil it out, gives you that overlapped hello. And then the die will cut that word out. So you get that nice hello word. And then the word there comes from this set here. It's called Overlapping Hello Editions. So hello, sunshine. Hello, my love. Hello, beautiful. Hello there. We are waiting for the dies, the matching die set to arrive. It missed the shipment that we just received, so it will be coming in late next week. I know there's a number of people that have pre-ordered the stamp and die combo. It is coming, and then we will be able to fulfill those. But these are great little stamp sets. So the die will allow you to cut out the word sunshine and the word hi, and it does it very intricately. It looks so beautiful. But you can also stamp it right over top of something else. So that's a really fun card there. And these florals are from that anchor set that I showed you right here. So you can use those florals completely separate from the anchor and create some pretty awesome things. Okay, so that's that option. I told you guys there's lots of inspiration here. So this one, again, you can see that hello there done in different colors. Okay, so here's a nice bright fun rainbow, and this is more primary colors. And behind it is the seashell texture die. So this creates this impression in your cardstock. And then these actually can be popped up. So if you want dimension, you can put like a little foam dot behind there, and then that would be raised up on the front of your card. So that is the texture die. And then there is a matching stencil that you can layer over top of that, and you can add color to all of those seashells as well. And that's how that background was created. So a really, really cool option. I love that. So that is that one. And then here is the seashell background again. You can see it on a white background with different colors. And again, you can see how those can be popped up if you want to. There is the ticket frame. So that's this one. So that's used just to add a focal point to your card. And you can see how the starfish is over top of the frame. That's because it's lifted there and they've just tucked the frame underneath. And again, here too, you can see how that is done. I think with this die, yes. So a large chunk of it is actually cut out, but there's little pieces that are not. And that if you just snip that with your scissors, you can pop the whole seashell right out. And then you'd have a bunch of little seashell things that you can use. And then you can see here that Amanda's added the florals over top, and that's from that anchor set, and added a greeting. And you've got a very nice oceany coastal kind of card. So that is a very cool option. I love that. And again, you can switch up your colors and end up with very different looks. Now this set might be my favorite. I mean, it's so great. So this is the Inquisitive Pirate add-on die. Okay, so it has lots of pirate type of dies in this one, like the pirate's hat, the treasure map, the treasure chest, the pot of gold. You've got the hook for Captain Hook's hand. You've got little gold coins, all kinds of fun things. And then there is a stamp set called Treasure Hunt Sentiments. There is no matching die for this. It's just a stamp set. But look how fun. So the stamps were used to create the background up here. And sometimes when stamp sentiments don't have dies, you just stamp them right onto your card. And they look equally as nice. This is flat to the card base, but then all of these items are popped up and it just looks amazing. Now this has been splattered with black. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see the detail on these dies and how just collaging them all together like that, you can create a really good scene. And again, take this and put it onto a layout, and it's pretty fun. I just love that. So that's sample number one. Here is sample number two, and you can see that great ticket frame in there again. Now this one's been splattered with black and with gold, and I'm going to see if I can get the camera to pick up. Can you see the gold flecks on the frame? It really looks amazing in person. And Amanda did the splattering after all of the embellishments and everything were put on here, and she splattered the whole panel, which I just think looks spectacular. And then this one, oh my gosh, like seriously. So this die is an older die set. We have more coming. This is the Inquisitive Seagull, and you get two different seagulls in it and their beaks. And there is a matching stamp set called the Inquisitive Seagulls Stamps. And that's an old one. It was so popular when it came out, but Amanda brought it back and she put the seagull into the frame and added a pirate hat and the patch over the eye. It's got the map and it says, "Shiver me timbers, you're amazing." And there's that striped stencil in the background just to create your own patterned paper. So really fun cards created with that for sure. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the seashell frame. This is a really fun one as well. So this is the seashell frame die, and then you also have the clam in the middle. So it's a die, and then there is a matching stencil as well. So you can die cut out the frame, and then you can use the stencil to layer over top and add your color. There's that lighthouse die and the florals from the anchor die and another one of those sentiments. Plus you can see the stripes in the background. Pretty fun, right? And then here's another one showing the frame, and there's that big anchor, and there's just a note die. This is a really nice one too. It's just one of their word and shadow dies, and it fits over that anchor just beautifully, but you can use that on its own too. Pretty cute. So that's those products. And then you can see the frame in the background of this card as well, but then we're introducing this nice big crab. So this is the inquisitive crab die, and it does this large crab that kind of comes in from the edge of your paper. So you can see on the die that it's just sort of the front and the eyeballs. The body part can be as big as you want it to be. But Amanda's got it kind of cut off at the corner here, and you know, his little claws are coming in. So you can see the nice big crab, and then it's got that frame. You are a true catch. And then the other die that has the crabs is the Happy Crabs die. There's more of these on the way. And it creates the two smaller crabs. There's that ticket frame, a little stenciling in the back to look like bubbles. And it says, "You are crabulous." And there's the little Happy Crabs again. I love this, how she's created that pool stencil background and just sort of cut along the edges. Clawsome. Yes, you are. And here's the big crab again with that great coastal die. And clawsome. Yes, you are. So that is all of the inspiration for all of these products from Waffle Flower. So we are going to get these all photographed and put up over on our inspiration group. And then, you know, we'll pop them into emails and stuff as well, just to give everyone a good peek at them. Definitely make notes, because I know a lot of this stuff has been in and out of stock since the release. So we are continuing to pull these items back into stock as they become available. Okay, I'm just looking at questions here. I know you've moved on, but that window die, the solid part, might make a cute short book shelf. 100%. These cards, I mean, you can just do so many things with them. Yes, it's designed as a window die, but you 100% could use it as a bookshelf. So here you can see if you take this center part out, just this part, it even looks a little bit like a cabinet. So you could do something with a cabinet die too. There's lots of options and things that you can do with this stuff. I know there is an intended use for them, but there's always that branch out effect. Love the seashell die card. I know, so many cool things just catching you now. I'll have to start setting an alarm. Yes, but replay is always an option. It will live forever over on YouTube, and then on Facebook for 30 days, and then it expires. But you can always watch it over on our YouTube channel for sure. Okay, well, that's it. I'm just going to bring the little postage stamps back on just so you can get another peek at those. So the first part of this video was a tutorial on how to make these little postage stamps. And then I sort of paused, and then we moved on to a bit of inspiration for the product. So, okay, well, that's 1 hour. And unless anyone has any other questions, I am going to sign off, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for coming by.